It's amazing how this new movie produced by Jada Smith on Netflix, Cleopatra, is causing a stir. Mostly because Jada depicts her as a black woman. Let's be honest, that's the only reason why all this is happening. We grew up, my grandparents, great-grandparents, for centuries, the depiction of Jesus has been white, and people accept that. Hasn't been an argument about it, right? We know that, let's be honest, historically, he's not a white man, but let's not go there. It's either here or there. Cleopatra, yes, she was white passing. She was Greek and Egyptian. A lot of times back in the day, or in the ancient times, Greeks used to go to Egypt, study. Matter of fact, a lot of the theology that they use comes from Egypt. Now, everybody want to say, well, Egypt wasn't black, Egypt wasn't this, Egypt wasn't that. Because now you look at Egypt, and Egypt is multicolor. Let's be honest. You can get from the dark to the pale. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't take away from the history of black people just because you want to whitewash something, right? You just can't. They seem to want to do that a lot. They don't want to give black people the credit for any real civilization or any knowledge or any experience of creating great things, right? They're willing to go to the length to say aliens develop Egypt because guess what? It couldn't be black people. Us as black people are stupid. If you take America as an example, America wasn't always multicultural. Wasn't. Now it is. We're the Indians. How often do you go outside and you see an indigenous Indian running around on these lands in America? Right? So other people, over century, over decades, they move to America and become a part of America. Black, white, Asians, Pacific Indians, you name it. It's a melting pot. So you cannot expect Egypt to just be black people nowadays. You can't. But historically, Egypt was black. Most of the civilization that was created in Egypt was from and because of black people. You can't take that away. It doesn't matter how many times they want to rewrite the history, how many times they want to fabricate the history. It is what it is. Just like Australia. Australia, the indigenous people of Australia was black. Now you go to Australia and you may think it's something else. And if you didn't know your history, you would look at Australia as a white country. But it doesn't represent the people who once lived in Australia, just like America doesn't represent the people who occupied, owned America in the early 15, 14, 16 century of this country. It doesn't. So you can't take away from Egypt and you can't take away from Africa. And I know a lot of you pale skin towards the white skin wants to denounce the black contribution to Egypt. But it is what it is. You can't be salty. You can't be mad. Egypt will live forever. Black people will remain a force of intelligence, a force of knowing, a force of creativity, and a part of history, whether you like it or not.